I'm in. Seems pretty quiet.
It is a listening post. The CIA's upstairs, and they probably have a guard in the lobby, so keep an eye out.
Will do. Going to take a cable's cut.
Huh? What do you mean static? Alright, I'll check downstairs. Probably blew another fuse. What am I, the fucking electrician? Need a flashlight.
Mike, it looks like the third floor camera is being run by a dummy console on the second floor. If you can find it, you can loop the feed and sneak past.
Accessing the database and downloading the software.
All right. Receiving. We're good.
Listening in on the listening post. Gotta love this job.
That's interesting.
Control room's locked from the inside.
No other entrances I can see. Looks like the only way to get it to open is to get them to open it.
I'll think of something. Looks like this ought to do the trick.
What are you doing? Mike, don't kill them. There's got to be another way.
Just giving them a scare. A little something I learned in third period science.
What the hell? Fuck this shit!
Mike, I've just detected a source within the VCI branch office doing a search for your profile. Although they've got the height wrong.
Why are they doing a search now? They already found me.
It looks like the analyst isn't doing it on company time. I have the workstation called up. It's using the workstation Parker used while he was undercover as a Halbeck contractor.
What?
The ID on the badge used to access the office is a Madison St. James.
What's her role at the company?
A full background check may take some time, but from skimming her dossier, she looks like a new employee.
Got a picture?
Calling it up now. She's pretty. Recognize her?
No, I think I'd remember. But if she's tied to Marburg, I think we've got a way to get to him after all. I think I just got salmonella by looking at this place.
Gotta keep the public from dropping in for a cone.
Good point. I'd say their cover is working beautifully.
Okay. You'll need to come up with a good reason to be here. Looks like they're scheduled for server maintenance and security upgrades this month. That might get you in.
I think I can smooth talk my way past them.
Don't play games, Mike. These guys are trained to spot double agents and imposters. If their post is compromised, they'll shut it down, and we'll lose our access. You'll also need to give the correct handshake code to identify yourself as an agent.
Secret handshakes? What are we, the Shriners?
It's a specific passphrase that rotates on a monthly basis. You give the correct phrase, they give the correct response, and you both know everything's on the level.
So what's the code?
Tell them that the Adirondacks are beautiful this time of year. They should respond with, yes, but the Alps are lovely all year long.
Got it. Let's see if anybody's home. Hey, how about some service here?
All right. Keep your shirt on. What do you want?
I'm here to fix the computers.
We don't have a problem with the computer.
Well, sure, not yet. But if you don't let me install the security update, oh man, you are not gonna like what this season's hot new virus does. 2 words. Horse porn. All over your computer.
Who did you say you work for?
Mike, what are you doing? Give him the code.
Relax, I know what I'm doing.
Who are you talking to?
My agency contact. She says to tell you that the Adirondacks are beautiful this time of year.
I don't like the mountains. And you're here to fix the computers?
He didn't give the response phrase. Something's wrong.
Yeah. Say, about those Adirondacks.
I told you I don't like mountains. Come on. I'll show you the computers.
That's not the response phrase. Stay on guard, Mike. If my code is out of date, they might suspect you're not on the level.
So, my friend, what do you need?
Nothing serious. Just here to upgrade your security systems.
Oh, okay, you got it. So, no more computer troubles, eh?
You should be all set. Fort Meade can rest easy now.
Hey, my friend. Gone to go?
You in place?
Yep. Got a good view of the estate where this meeting is supposed to take place. What now?
Albarra's our target. He's supposed to be here tonight.
Well, I'm glad I brought this rifle. But what's the deal with the scope?
It can transmit images to me in real time. Aim at someone, and I'll run their picture through the database. See if we get a match. The longer you focus on a target, the quicker I can make an ID. The ID is all I need.
And if the target's a scumbag, I take him out?
That's your call. If you decide to shoot, just make sure you don't do it if the target's inside of a camera or another person. We don't know who Albarra's meeting, so taking anyone else out may have repercussions, depending on who their friends are. Owns a sports car dealership in Naples. Does a lot of international business, but no criminal record. Not our guy. Roman artist. Made a name for himself last year with a controversial exhibit in Paris. Some local juvenile offenses, but otherwise he's clean. Not our target. A nobody.
Looks like the guards are clear. Moving up to the next position. In position.
All right, let's begin. Security guard. He's clean. Dutch flower baron. He's suspected of dipping into the drug trade. But that's all I've got. Nothing really incriminating. Private security. Ex-special forces. Not our man. But definitely a professional. He planned and led the assault that took back the hijacked British jet last year.
I remember reading about that. Should I get an autograph for him?
No, I work for the infamous Mike Thornton. Compared to you, he's small time. Well, she's a little underdressed.
Definitely a cold night from the looks of it.
All right, Mike. Spanish celebrity talk show host. He's a known meth user, but nothing related to financing terrorists or arms smuggling.
I'm in position overlooking the chateau. A lot of guests tonight.
I see. Mike, be very...
Careful, I know. I don't want a mob after me before we have a target.
That's Albarra. That's him.
Take him out?
Hold on. A lot of State Department and Interpol records. State Department says he's dirty. Interpol says his finances are legitimate, though. And
I mean, do I take him out?
none of these State Department records are sourced. I can't tell where they came from, or when. Best I can tell, their intel was added to his sheet a few months before you left for Saudi Arabia.
He's a member of Al Samad, right?
I don't know. I'd say yes. But I might be wrong. You can take him out, or we can abort. It's up to you. Don't waste shots. You'll give us away. That. You'll need to take out the witnesses before they radio for help. Mike, the guards have radioed in an alarm. Get out of there.
Damn it. On my way. I'm in position overlooking the chateau. A lot of guests tonight.
I see. Mike, be very...
Careful, I know. I don't want a mob after me before we have a target.
An American novelist. He's got a bestseller right now on corporate involvement in the Middle East.
Is it any good?
I'm waiting for the movie. Anyway, nothing on him. That's Albara. That's him.
Take him out?
Hold on. A lot of State Department and Interpol records. State Department says he's dirty. Interpol says his finances are legitimate, though. And
Mina, do I take him out?
none of these State Department records are sourced. I can't tell where they came from, or when. Best I can tell, their intel was added to his sheet a few months before you left for Saudi Arabia.
He's a member of Al Samad, right?
I don't know. I'd say yes. But I might be wrong. You can take him out, or we can abort. It's up to you. What the hell are you shooting at? They saw that. You'll need to take out the witnesses before they radio for help.
I'm in position overlooking the chateau. A lot of guests tonight.
I see. Mike, be very...
Careful, I know. I don't want a mob after me before we have a target.
That's Albara. That's him.
Take him out?
Hold on. A lot of State Department and Interpol records. State Department says he's dirty. Interpol says his finances are legitimate, though. And
Mina, do I take him out?
none of these State Department records are sourced. I can't tell where they came from, or when. Best I can tell, their intel was added to his sheet a few months before you left for Saudi Arabia.
He's a member of Al Samad, right?
I don't know. I'd say yes. But I might be wrong. You can take him out, or we can abort. It's up to you.
Done. He's
I
dead.
hope you're right. If not...
What's that beeping noise?
Professor Jibril Al-Barra of Vittorio University was shot and killed by an unknown assassin outside a home on the outskirts of Rome.
Police have no motive for the killing as yet, but our political analysts have suggested that Al-Barra may be linked to radical Islamic terrorism.
Coming in the wake of sectarian conflict in the Middle East, some political analysts are suggesting that Al-Barra's death might be a reprisal for the bombing of the Jizan airfield earlier this week.
The international Islamic community has been quick to decry the killing, with the International League of Muslims issuing a statement saying that Al-Barra had no ties to terrorist activities, and the murder was little more than a hate crime.
A new museum exhibit has caused chaos in the streets of Rome. The Roman Museum of Natural History opened up its Crusades exhibit earlier last week, prompting claims of religious intolerance by protesters who have crowded the downtown area and even threatened visitors. Officials for the museum defended the exhibit, claiming it was a critical examination of the time period based on historical evidence. Roman police have kept the scene under control, but fear a full-scale riot could break out if the numbers gathered outside the museum continue to increase.
In fashion news, designer Robin Goulet's latest show in New York was greeted with surprisingly mixed reviews.
The focal point of the show was the controversial theme of ruined beauty. Models dressed in Goulet's latest designs would stroll to the end of the runway, where they were actually drenched in real pig blood.
Well, many did find it outrageous, some less so. Fans of the designer called it a, quote, new and breathtaking twist in fashion, while critics called it, quote, gaudy, overblown, and completely gross. And various animal rights groups picketed the show, claiming it was, quote, disrespectful to the suffering of fellow creatures.
In response to these protests, Goulet labeled the protesters as stupid dumbfaces who needed to get the F over themselves, end quote.
Breaking news from Moscow this morning. Last night, the United States Embassy was the victim of a terrorist attack. According to eyewitnesses speaking exclusively to INN, the attackers were well armed and struck with military precision. Thus far, no group has stepped forward to take credit for the attack.
Russian FSB spokesmen have not released many details of the incident, but have assured the press that they are cooperating closely with American agents on the scene. The death toll is believed to be somewhere near 50, although a final tally will not be possible until a full report is released later this month.
Reports that Sergei Surkov, a Muscovite entrepreneur and reputed former leader of the Russian mob, was the actual target of the assault, remain unconfirmed at this time. However, sources have claimed Surkov was present at the embassy on the night of the attack. Mr. Surkov could not be reached for comment. We've always known that kids enjoy candy, but what are some of the downsides to this link?
Which turns even the
No sign of our mysterious Halbeck contact yet.
Maybe he stood you up.
I don't know. Something feels wrong.
Well, stay alert. I'm starting to trust your instincts.
Switch off your transmitter. If you reach for your gun, one of my men will put a bullet in your skull.
Transmitter's off. I don't plan on reaching for my gun unless you make it necessary.
Once I have the information I need, I plan to leave. You will not be harmed. You've made an effort to broadcast your arrival in Rome. Why?
I'm here to find out what Halbeck is doing in Rome and their ties to Al-Samad.
And what led you to believe that Halbeck has any interests in Rome or Al-Samad?
Are you denying that either one is true?
I do not believe you would have come here without evidence.
And what makes you think that?
You aren't here in an official capacity. You are operating under Alpha Protocol.
Interesting. Considering the program's secret, I would have expected you to say traitor, unless you have insider knowledge.
If you think you're the first to be abandoned by your government, you would be wrong. You are Michael Thornton, a veteran with an impressive record of solving seemingly impossible problems.
I'm an operative now. After Saudi, I had to change my 5-year plan. I'm guessing you're here to confirm the file you have on me. Anything else you need to check?
Reports place you as someone loyal to your country and who believes in carrying their missions through.
Is that so odd?
In today's day and age, yes. But not to me. And you were the one who crossed paths with a German mercenary in Moscow. Z.
I get around, and she was a little insistent we get together.
I am not surprised. She is a mercenary, but hardly professional, or discreet, it seems.
Have you two had dealings before?
Contract disputes only.
So you know a great deal about me, and I know who you are. You're Leyland's right-hand man, his lackey, toady, henchman. And you wear those gloves to keep the blood off your hands. I've read your dossier. You've lived a full life. Kuwait, South Africa, that oil refinery explosion in Moscow. It's like a concert tour with you.
In less than a day's time, you have already managed to cause me considerable inconvenience. Now, tell me what you're doing here.
I was tracking down a lead, and it looks like I've found it.
I see. So you thought all you had to do was wait and we would speak. Interesting.
What I don't understand, though, is why we're talking at all. Unless keeping me alive is important for some reason.
I have orders, and I am a cautious person.
Well, we're done talking, so you can go fuck off now.
I expected that reaction. I believe you have nowhere to go for help. In that situation, it is a rare man who goes to his enemy's door. So, yes, this is a social call. A warning. You have proven yourself capable, but pursuing this course of action will not serve you any longer. Go underground, hide, but stay out of our way.
Or else what?
Or people you care about will start to die. We know you've been in contact with one of your fellow agents. That contact will die if you persist, and then we will kill you.
Those are your terms. Allow you to carry out your mission, and I stay out of the way.
Yes.
You realize I would be betraying my country.
Yes, and that does not change my terms. I understand your feelings, and I encourage you to set them aside.
So we're done here. I leave Rome, leave you to your plan, and that's it.
Yes. What you do next is up to you, but there are only two immediate choices. Leave, you live. Stay, you die.
You don't seem like the corporate stooge type. In fact, you seem like someone who doesn't take orders at all, especially from someone like Leyland.
Are you questioning my loyalty?
I am, but not in the way you think. I've read your dossier. From where I'm standing, it doesn't seem like Halbeck's any better than the governments that you've served with. In fact, they're like a government unto themselves, and if you think for a second that they give a rat's ass about their employees, then you're twice the fool. Do you seriously think they wouldn't leave you out to dry if they had to?
Your attention to detail and history borders on obsessive. You may live through this after all. Leave Rome. If we see each other again, it will be the last time.
You weren't hard to find in Rome, you know. The shooting outside of Rome. That poor professor, taking that bullet like that. Finding you was easy.
What can I say? I was hungry. So I checked out restaurant reviews, chose one, and waited. I knew one of your goons would show.
And that's when you and Mr. Marburg met up and had lunch.
When we talked, he had a lot to say about Halbeck and some suggestions about my involvement with your corporation.
Really? I can rarely get 3 words from the man.
Well, feel free to have him threaten you whenever you get tired of listening to yourself.
I'd be curious to hear more, and your first impression of Mr. Marburg. What did you discuss?
We discussed business. Turns out both of us have experience with abuse of authority.
He described you as a man of your word. Patriotic, I believe, also came into the conversation. But Mr. Marburg was not always the best judge of character. Nor does he instill much loyalty in employees. Speaking of which, this woman entered the picture not long after your meeting with Marburg. She was in our office in Rome. Madison, I believe.
Yes.
I always wondered, did you ever regret getting her into this?
It wasn't my choice.
Oh, Mike. In the end, it was.
Mike, we may have a problem. The VCI employee I mentioned before, Madison, I think she's going to act.
What do you mean, now?
She's calling the operator and asking for you by name.
She can't be working for Marburg. Unless this is a trap. Who is she calling?
The city directory. And maybe the police next. If she does...
Can you intercept the call? Redirect it?
What? Why?
I want to know why she's looking for me.
Okay, let me patch her through. Operator?
Miss St. James?
Hello? Yes, is this the operator?
No, Miss St. James. This is Michael Thornton.
Oh, thank God. Mr. Thornton, please, you have to listen to me.
I don't believe we've met before. How do you know my name and why are you calling?
I have reason to believe your life is in danger. I know it sounds crazy, but...
You don't say.
I don't want to discuss the details over the phone. This line may be tapped. She's a sharp one. But it's important I speak to you immediately. Is there someplace we can meet?
Of course. I'll send you the address of a local restaurant.
All right. I still have to hail a cab.
I'll have one sent to your cross streets.
Oh, okay.
I'll see you soon, Miss St. James.
A new museum exhibit has caused chaos in the streets of Rome. The Roman Museum of Natural History opened up its Crusades exhibit earlier last week, prompting claims of religious intolerance by protesters who have crowded the downtown area and even threatened visitors. Officials for the museum defended the exhibit, claiming it was a critical examination of the time period based on historical evidence. Roman police have kept the scene under control, but fear a full-scale riot could break out if the numbers gathered outside the museum continue to increase. Tragic news for dog lovers. The latest target of scammers are online puppy buyers, those seeking the comfort of canine companionship via the internet.
Many organizations have received complaints from buyers who have been taken in by multiple false claims, including the dreaded Nigerian pet scam, and lost hundreds of dollars.
Consumers have been asked not to trust any pictures of puppies they are sent. According to the Humane Society, just because you receive a picture from someone on the web does not necessarily mean that thing is real. Sobering news. Pleasure cruisers on the Moscow River received a shock this morning when they discovered an empty yacht floating unattended on the river. Muscovite police were summoned to the scene after bloodstains and signs of a violent struggle were detected on the boat's deck.
Talk about your ghost ship.
Ghost have been located yet.
Thank you for meeting me, Mr. Thornton.
Let's discuss what you told me over the phone.
I know it sounds crazy. Where to begin?
Just start at the beginning. And don't edit yourself, just tell it.
I work for the Veteran Combat Initiative, VCI. They're a global military contractor. My boss, Mr. Marburg, I think he's involved in something illegal. So I checked it out, and your name came up several times in our database.
Well, I'm a popular guy. Maybe Marburg wanted to meet me.
I don't think so. The professor, Jabril Ibarra, who was shot a few days ago, was in the same file, linked to termination contracts. The Ibarra one, however, was canceled for some reason. I think because Marburg arranged it.
Yeah. Do you have the contracts? That'd be valuable evidence.
Not on me, no.
That would have been too much to hope for, I suppose. No worries, we'll figure this out.
Mr. Thornton, I'm not sure what to do next. Go to the authorities? Is there someone I should notify, or...?
Madison, you did the right thing warning me, and I appreciate it. I probably shouldn't have accepted your call. I think that may make things worse for you.
For me? I think I was a little more worried about you.
And I appreciate it. I'll do whatever I can to protect you.
You need to look out for yourself first. Mike, Marburg is going to try and kill you. What are you going to do?
I know Marburg. I know he wants to kill me. What I don't know is why he's here in Rome. Madison, you've already put yourself in danger by even meeting with me. I can protect you, but I need to know what Marburg's here for. I need those files. Are they in the VCI branch office?
I don't know what you're looking for, but the VCI office in Rome isn't Marburg's personal office. He does most of his work off-site, or when he travels.
But he's here now, so where would he store the information while in Rome?
He has a villa. I've been there several times. If the files exist, I'm guessing they'd be there.
Along with Marburg.
Yes.
Give me the address. Can you get me in?
What?
Passcodes, details on the security system, anything would be helpful.
I can give you the address, but that other information...
Miss St. James, you've already gotten into more trouble than you know by speaking to me, and that's my fault. However, you know Marburg, and you know what you found makes you a liability.
Yes.
I can protect you. I have a location in Rome that Marburg doesn't know about, and you can stay there. But in return, I need whatever information you can provide to take him down.
But...
Let me do my job. If I can expose him, you're safe. And if he gets by me, trust me, no one else can protect you.
All right, Mr. Thornton. I can get you the address to the villa, and the names of the files you need to search for.
Then that's all I need. Come with me. narcissist much?
Thornton, my apologies for relieving you of your weapons, but I'm sure you understand.
I wouldn't want anyone walking into my home with a gun either.
I've been tracking your progress in Rome, and I've made a recommendation to my superiors.
And?
They dislike inefficiency as much as I do. You and I have a common goal, yet we're working at cross purposes.
A common goal? How do you figure?
Mike, I've been in your situation. You can't go back to the government. As for being left in Saudi Arabia, I think your superiors would prefer you not come back at all.
Perhaps I need another employer.
Halbeck rewards loyalty.
I noticed that coming in.
I mean, you will feel satisfaction in your work. You will have confidence and respect in your superiors, and they will show the same. We don't leave our people behind, Thornton. Nor do we throw them to the wolves when it's politically convenient. We could use agents like you, and you wouldn't have to hide or be hunted any longer. You would be doing the hunting.
My situation has nothing to do with my mission or my faith in my country.
Even if your country feels differently about you?
It isn't my country. It's the people claiming to represent it. Assign blame where blame belongs.
I see. A shame. I had hoped you would be willing to cooperate, but I haven't provided the right incentive. That was 10,000 volts. Beat Mr. Thornton until he can no longer stand, but leave him able to speak.
Open fire!
Oh, I guess that's that. No, I just need my gear. Mina, do you read me?
I'm here, Mike. Are you inside?
Yeah, but they've got me locked in. Can you override the security systems?
No, I can't patch through to security. I'm sorry, Mike.
Would Madison or Z know the layout?
It depends who you want to help you out, Mike. I can patch Madison through, or I can stay on the line. Just say the word.
Madison's been here before, Mina. She has first-hand knowledge of the villa.
All right, Mike. It's your call. I'll transmit the frequency for her to use. How does this thing work? Okay, I think I've got it.
Madison, can you hear me?
Yes. Mike, I'm not really sure how much I can help.
You know this villa better than me. Just call out if there's something I should know, like cameras or explosives or armed guards.
Okay.
All right then, let's go.
We gotta lock it.
All right, now I need to find my gear if I hope to get out of here.
Be careful. There's a camera on the corner.
What's through the side door?
Right. His office.
That sounds interesting. The phone on the desk is flashing.
Marburg's private line. You should be able to listen in.
Do I proceed? It depends. Is everything in place? Almost. There's a few last things that need to be taken care of, but I don't anticipate any problems. I hope not. Call me when you have something more.
Careful. I think there's a camera outside the museum exit door.
What's this?
Over there. What was that?
Either Marburg appreciates fine art, or...
The statue? Let's just say I've never seen him entertain any female guests, Mike. The game room's coming up. There's usually a few guards lounging in there.
I hope it's nothing like Braco's game room.
What?
Never mind. So should I take it slow?
If
Looks
they
like I'm
haven't been
entering a
plots already, I
cafe.
don't know. It's a bar area. Two-story gallery. Should be pool tables around.
I'll watch for good. Might have time for a quick game. Got a present for you. Uploading the information now.
Receiving. Sure is a lot of security.
And that's that.
Anything on the news?
Professor Jibril Al-Bara of Vittorio University was shot and killed by an unknown assassin outside a home on the outskirts of Rome.
Police have no motive for the kill.
Show was the controversial theme of ruined beauty. Models dressed in Goulet's latest designs would stroll to the end of the runway, where they were actually drenched in real pig blood.
Well, many... Twisted fashion.
Alright, I'm at the ruins.
And the bike?
It's close by. It's a nice ride. Looks like the area is under renovation.
The site's closed to the public, Mike. You shouldn't run.
Looks like Al Samad was right. One of their cells is operating here.
Trying to take in all the sights I see.
Good to see how the renovations are going. Don't need these munitions finding their way into Rome. That's one. Those look like Marburg's men.
That can't be good. Any idea what they're up to?
No, but I'm gonna find out.
What have we here?
That's another one. And one more to go. What is this place?
If it's beneath the bath, it's probably where they kept the fires, to heat up the bathwater.
So, you majored in architecture.
No. Ancient Roman plumbing, with a minor in architecture. Your signal's breaking up a little, Mike.
Must be the ghosts down here.
Are you in the catacombs?
Yeah, but not for much longer. Don't want to pick up any curses. Dun 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 dun. That's the last of the weapons. Hope the world doesn't end up like this if Halbeck fucks it up.
got a link to all the transmissions to this station, but I'll need some time to trace the signal's origin.
So, I just stand here and wait?
Now, you know how I feel. Just make sure nothing interferes with the station until I finish the trace. Then?
Then? What then? We've got trouble, don't we?
Protect the trace, Mike. If we lose it now...
Don't worry, they're not getting anywhere near it.
Mike, you need to protect the trace.
Now I know how the soldiers at the Alamo felt.
The signal's origin is in Rome.
Keep coming, assholes. I got plenty of bullets.
Now where'd you run off to? Shoot him, damn it!
It looks like a dummy corporation. Cross-referencing with known contacts. Hold on, Mike, I almost have it. Got it. We're good, Mike. Transmitting the information to the safe house. Mike, what did you do?
Erasing my tracks. And the weapons.
Mike?
Huh? Oh. Sorry, long day.
I imagine. They're airing reports on a shootout at the ruins, and while they're not admitting anything, the word is that it was a terrorist cell. There weren't any reports of you being taken into custody, though, so I wasn't sure what had happened.
Nothing I couldn't handle. Got shot at, shot back. It's an old story.
You just like to live dangerously, then?
I invited you here, didn't I?
Are you hurt?
No. Just need to get my second wind. I have to get to the warehouse soon before the leads grow cold or Marburg moves the evidence out. I'm still running on adrenaline anyway.
I noticed you had medical supplies in the cabinet. If you want, I could...
I did have one question. When you were checking up on me shortly before we met, why didn't you use your work terminal in Rome?
What? How do you know that?
I was monitoring it. You used a temp employee's computer at your office. Why?
It was a Halbeck contractor from Milan, working with the VCI. I thought using his computer would help hide what I was doing. Guess I messed that up.
A contractor from Milan? Do you know who it was?
I don't know. They let him go, though. Word was he was accessing files he didn't have clearance for.
Do you know his name?
I never even saw him. Only heard about what happened. Why?
No reason. Just curious. You should get some sleep medicine. Meaner.
I've told you everything.
Everything? No. I think we will need more than that.
But I don't know what happened in Moscow. There was someone there, a man. Thornton,
Enough about this Thornton already. He's dead. Dead in Saudi Arabia. What about the shipments? I thought you made sure we weren't being followed.
Oh man, Marvel's gonna be pissed.
Better clean up this mess.
Russians. What the hell are they doing here?
Cossacks. Should have another Russian.
What was that? Going to find you.
Mike,
Almost done, but I want to know who they were torturing. Let me ID them and then I'm out of here.
all right, but hurry. Mike, you've got less than a minute.
Got an ID and some papers he had on him.
Good. Now get out of there.
Lot of hard people.
Mike, get out of there.
Madison? Madison, are you here?
Mike? Are you okay?
Just tired, but I found what I was looking for.
Was it enough? Can you take it to the authorities?
No. If I do that, they won't respond in time. I have to do it.
No, you don't. Let the police handle this now. You can let them capture Marburg, expose his involvement.
I appreciate the concern. And I appreciate you trying to warn me about Marburg.
I didn't want him to kill you. You had such a nice smile in the photograph.
I was smiling. Must have been years ago.
There it is again. You should do that more.
I try. The job gets in the way.
I've heard that before.
I didn't mean to wake you when I got in. We've had a rough couple days.
You didn't wake me. I was waiting for you to come back. I meant to stay awake longer, but you were gone for a long time. I was worried something had happened to you. I'm glad you're back.
Me too. I was worried when I came back something had happened to you.
Just dreaming.
Good ones, I hope.
Very.
In technology news, a string of hacker attacks have recently struck the U.S. Department of Defense. The attacks
Anything on the news?
internet terrorism.
Nothing about Marburg.
To break into the department's systems in order to
Marburg was able to get the munitions into the country through Al Samad, but the warehouse was the destination of the bombs.
He wasn't planning to destroy the warehouse, though, right? Was he planning to store the bombs there, use them later in Rome?
That doesn't make much sense. The warehouse was on the outskirts of Rome. There's plenty of other storage areas he could have used.
So there was something special about that warehouse. Its inventory. It's mostly art and museum pieces, right?
I could call up the inventory and see if there's any possible name or location connection.
Were any of the warehouse pieces outbound through customs? Maybe he was smuggling weapons and art pieces.
I doubt it. It looks like the pieces were intended for a museum in the city. Although... Wait, no. Some of the pieces had already been shipped out.
To where? I used to work part-time in restoration in one of the museums. I may be able to help. It's actually part of the reason Marburg hired me, I think.
Marburg hired you because you used to work at a museum?
Yeah, the Museum of Art in Rome. I think they have an exhibit on the Crusades showcased there now. What's wrong?
Some of the pieces in that warehouse. I'm certain they were from that museum.
He's going to bomb the museum. But why?
I have no idea, but that's his target. I need to get there before he does. I'll let her sleep.
Roman police raided a warehouse in the Apria district earlier today on reports that it was being used as the hub of an international arms smuggling operation. No shots were fired during the raid, as police discovered several dead bodies in what appeared to be a deal gone bad. A new museum exhibit has caused chaos in the streets of Rome. The Roman Museum of Natural History opened up its Crusades exhibit earlier last week, prompting claims of religious intolerance by protesters who have crowded the downtown area and even threatened visitors. Officials for the museum defended the exhibit, claiming it was a critical examination of the time period based on historical evidence. Roman police have kept the scene under control, but fear a full-scale riot could break out if the numbers gathered outside the museum continue to increase.
In fashion news, designer Robin Goulet's latest show in New York was greeted with surprisingly mixed reviews.
The focal point of the show was the controversial theme of ruined beauty. Models dressed in Goulet's latest designs would stroll to the end of the runway, where they were actually drenched in real pig blood.
Well, many did find it outrageous, some less so. Fans of the designer called it a, quote, new and breathtaking twist in fashion, while critics called it, quote, gaudy, overblown, and completely gross. And various animal rights groups picketed the show, claiming it was, quote, disrespectful to the suffering of fellow creatures.
In response to these protests, Goulet labeled the protesters as stupid dumbfaces who needed to get the F over themselves, end quote. A terrorist attack on the ruins of Carsule was thwarted today by an undisclosed branch of Italian law enforcement. The Italian government has not released the name of the organization involved, citing security concerns.
We've always known that kids enjoy candy, but what are some of the downsides to this link? A recent study by scientists at the American Medical Association has linked the consumption of sugar to hyperactivity and inattentiveness in kids, especially when combined with an empty stomach.
Apparently, after normal, healthy children are given a great deal of sugar, their bodies release vast quantities of the hormone adrenaline, which turns even the calmest child into an uncontrollable hellion. According to one researcher, we gave them a bag of candy bars, and then in like a half hour they were running around being crazy, end quote.
Researchers managing the study recommended parents attempt to reduce their child's sugar intake, or at least balance it with other snacks containing fat and carbohydrates, like chips and pretzels, right?
Yes, Melissa, that would probably work. But parents should remain aware of the dangers that sugar...
I'm in the museum.
Mike, I just picked something up on the cameras. It's Marburg's men. They have Madison.
Damn it. Guess the bathroom's still under construction.
I thought you went before you left.
Mina, is there anyone in the museum?
It's normal hours. A few tour groups, security guards. It's a light day for tourists. But that's still a lot of people if the bomb goes off.
I won't let it happen.
Mike, you need to hurry.
Why? What's going on?
It sounds like Marburg's men are attacking the security guards. Security's outnumbered. They'll be slaughtered.
Agent Thornton, you made it. Good. That makes things interesting. We have Madison. She's being held in the west wing of the museum. My men have orders to execute her.
That where your bombs are too?
No, the bombs are with me at the Crusades exhibit. You won't have time to reach both. Either way, someone dies.
You're right about that, Marburg. Why don't you stay put? I'll be right there.
Left or right, Thornton? Your choice. Madison, or coming after me and the bombs. There's not time for both.
Mike, Madison. She's in the wing to your left, but the bombs are in the wing to the right.
Which way should I go?
I don't know, Mike. You'll hide. They've sealed off the entrance to the other wing, but I don't
Guess
think
there's
Marburg
only
is
one way to go
bluffing.
now.
Mike, I'm picking up some interference on the channel. And judging from the frequencies, There's some proximity mines near your location.
I'll keep an eye out.
Give it up, Thornton. Make it out of here alive. Stay back, or I'll shoot. I mean it. I'll kill her. That's it. Damn it. Give it up, Thornton. Give it up, Thornton. Stay back, or I'll shoot!
Take the stairs to the workshops. There's a tunnel leading to an adjacent building in the restoration room. Go!
Mike, I can't let you...
Go, damn it!
I expected you to carry out your mission. Instead, you let your personal feelings get in the way.
Flattery will get you nowhere, Marburg.
That was not a compliment. Is that all? I thought you two had become intimate. Maybe you thought you could be a hero, save her. Doesn't work that way.
Really?
You've done something to her that will never be undone. You've traded her life for the lives of others. You think that falls solely on you? No, not at all.
Even if the bombs went off, I'll still stop you, Marburg.
No, you won't. There's nothing more you can do.
You blew up an exhibit.
No, I committed a terrorist act in a major European city. Well, Al-Samad did. And it's not just an exhibit. It was a symbol.
A symbol of what? Fear?
A reminder about manifest destiny, blind obedience, and their icons. A man must stand on his own, Thornton.
So says the corporate tool.
I'm done speaking with you, Thornton. Step out with your hands up.
Why don't you come get me?
Thought you could hide. Stay focused. discretion is the better. Keep on struggling. I expected more from a self-appointed hero. You are disposable and obsolete.
Says the corporate tool who answers to Leyland.
I work for Halbeck. You're a man without a country, Thornton. You're me, 20 years ago.
What's that in dog years?
Even if you escape, I know how your story ends.
Keep talking. Lets me know where to shoot.
Enough of this.
Damn it, he's getting away.
There's nothing you can do now, Mike. Get out of there. There'll be another time.
It was a difficult choice. The woman you cared for, or stopping a terrorist bombing. Oh, if I had been in your shoes, well, I don't know what I would have done.
If you'd been in my shoes, you would have been running for the hills.
Who?
So you blew up a museum, murdered innocent people. I still don't see how this little stunt helps you unless you plan to corner the market on terrorism.
Really? That's because you have a very narrow view of events.
Then tell me what the bigger picture is.
Tragedy in the wake of the thwarted terror attack on the ruins of Kharsu.
I can't expect you to keep up with every news report. I have an entire division devoted to it. Plus my ex-law. This bombing will reorganize terrorist legislation in the European Union.
So what? How does that benefit you?
The reorganization benefits Halbeck. Surveillance, airport screening tech, weapons. Mr. Marburg's little crusade in Rome has reminded Europe what fear is.
So those people in the museum that died.
That wasn't the plan, but at least you saved one of them, didn't you? I certainly hope you're not blaming me for something you could have prevented, Mike. Oh, how did that turn out, by the way? Saving the damsel in distress and all.
And when you come back, I'll be gone. I don't want you to try and find me. I care about you, Mike. I know you care about me, and that's why I can't be around you anymore. I can't let you put me before anything else, and not before the lives of others. Goodbye, Mike. I'm sorry.
Mina... This is it? After Rome and Moscow, I was expecting something a little more... upscale.
Maybe you should unwind after the flight. Maybe take a shower.
That might be more tempting if you were here.
That might have to wait until we aren't fugitives from our own government.
A man can dream, though. A man can dream. Are you sure about this?
Positive. Trust me.
Okay.
See? What did I tell you?
This is why I love you.
You can send roses to my dead drop in Prague. Now that you've made it to Taipei, what are your plans?
I sort of figured I'd improvise and put an ear to the ground and see what I can find out.
Don't you think you need a little more focus than that?
I've got 3 leads to start with. This Stephen Heck guy seems like he knows what's going on in Taipei. He might be able to answer some questions.
Be careful, Mike. I've checked my databanks, and I can't find any evidence that Stephen Heck has ever worked for the CIA.
I'll be on my guard. There's also that anomalous data trail from Shahid's system. Any luck tracing it down?
I managed to follow it back to a place in the warehouse district. I'm forwarding the address to you now. What's the final lead?
Simple. Follow the money. Shahid was funneling large amounts of money to a front corporation for the White Oak Mountain Triad. I think I can persuade them to tell me why.
Sounds like you've got everything figured out.
Isn't that why you love me?
You watch yourself out there, Mr. Thornton.
Always.